Congratulations. You are on your way. And today you have arrived to Hustle Headquarters 360. Right now. If you don't know, you better find out. It's accumulation time. We're going to get into the cryptocurrency assets. We're going to look at the market. We're going to look at what can you do? What should you be doing right now to take advantage of not just cryptocurrencies, but how do you put yourself in position to be able to not only make money, but to keep money and stay on the path towards success in 2021? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to get into it. I got a couple videos I want to show you with some multi-mega millionaires that you probably didn't know about, but you need to know about. We're going to get into that momentarily, but I am your platform partner. Yes, Dr. Jackson 360. This is your hustling homie. And I want you to like this video, subscribe to the page, and let's get ready to take this thing into a whole nother level and put on your star boosters, turbo boosters, whatever you want to call, put your hustle boots on, because it's time to take it to a whole nother level. First, before we go into the markets themselves, we are now at a place where the worst of the cryptocurrency dumps, in my opinion, is over. I think the worst of it. I don't think that it's completely over, meaning prices may still keep going down, but I think the worst of it is over. We've already seen a more than a 50% dip in prices. So if you're still in the game, well, why run and get out? The worst is over. It's like the rain. You're in the storm and the rain is slowly beginning to fade away and the sun is slowly peeking out. You know, don't run in the house looking for an umbrella now. Don't be scared now. You've made it so far. But let's get into this information. I want you to understand that in the past, what was interesting, you see, a lot of people have had money taken from them. See, when we talk about wealth, most wealth has been taken. When people have had gold, when people have had property. I mean, let's look at the United States of America, right? We know the story of America. It was taken. There were people living on America and the land before there even was a quote unquote America. But America, you had people come and they took it over. Same thing is calling it colonization. My point is, whether you had gold, fortunes, whatever history you've had in the past, it was taken away from you. But now it's a different phase. Now it's very difficult to take people's wealth, because when you're in the crypto markets, meaning digital assets, it's difficult to just take somebody's crypto. You see, now they've created a space where you are giving up your wealth willingly. And that's a grave mistake, in my opinion. So if you're a true hustler and you are about long-term value, wealth, value investing, creating a legacy for yourself, your family, passive income, and being proud to do it, let's get into this information. You better subscribe and like the video. Without further ado, let's really talk about one. I want to play a quick video from Kathy Woods. Good way to start this, because right now the charts show that everyday average retail buyers, that means people like you and me, get into this industry. They've been selling their crypto because prices are going down. People are emotional, they're afraid, and they say, hey, I need to get out of this and save my money while I can. Now, if you've been buying like Dogecoin or any coin that doesn't have a lot of quality and that like long-term longevity, then I can understand why you may want to get up out of that thing. But if you're in quality projects, while you're selling, the big money is buying. All right. And that's with no denying that. All right. So let's take a look at this video of Kathy Woods. If you don't know who this woman is here, you need to know her. This is one of the #1 female investors on the planet right here. She's invested in a lot of amazing technology. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in all of the major tech companies, Tesla, Facebook, companies that you just would have no idea. But let's hear what she has to talk about when it comes to this cryptocurrency, because I want you guys to understand this before I play it. This is a wealth transfer that's happening. Do not just look at right now cryptocurrency or real estate and look at the changes in the job market and think of dollars and how can you make a little bit here and there. Your mindset needs to be, or should be, if you're smart, on understanding that there are billions of dollars, trillions of dollars that are being transferred from one place to another, and you can participate that. There's no limit on the amount of wealth you can begin to generate if you start thinking in those terms, right? You focus on hundreds, you get hundreds. You focus on millions, you get millions. You focus on trillions, you can do that because that money is moving. But we don't know what that looks like. We know there's a great reset, but I'm telling you, it looks like what we're experiencing with crypto right now, which is the prices, a lot of volatility, prices going down, and you're getting afraid selling, and the big money is buying. But let's have Kathy talk about it a little bit more, and we'll go and talk a little bit more from there.
Surprised us. We expected institutional interest to pick up this year, and it certainly has. But the way in which it's picked up has surprised us. I don't think we ever thought there would be broad-based substitution of Bitcoin for cash on corporate balance sheets. So we find that very interesting. If all corporations in the United States were to put I think it's, yes, 10% of their cash into Bitcoin, that alone would add $200,000 to the Bitcoin price. You know, this has to mature a little bit before broad-based adoption can take place, but we're very reassured that companies like Square and Tesla have chosen to allocate.
So, Kathy Wood and the team at ARK Invest did some analysis on how corporations.
Okay, now real quick, we're going to shout out this brother here. His channel is Investing Made Simple. I'm playing a video from his channel here. The original video with Kathy Woods is at CNBC. If you guys want to follow him, shout him out, Investing Made Simple. But I wanted to just play that real quick to give a little bit of perspective. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to come back in a moment. And I'm going to play another video from the #1 Bitcoin investor, period, when it comes to the big money, which is Michael Saylor, because his company is buying. They just bought another $1 billion for Bitcoin, and they're consistently buying it up. Follow the big money. Follow the whales. I'm a big believer in. They're smart. They're sophisticated. They've not only are they wealthy, but they've maintained their wealth for a long time for a reason. So you want to understand success leaves clues. What you want to do is kind of follow what they're investing in and their moves. And right now they are buying, they're accumulating. Look at what she also just mentioned in that video. She just said that that the institutions are beginning to buy slowly, that because of the infrastructure, but they are buying. So we're talking about, we're going to be seeing these price changes over the next few years. So it only makes sense to get it while it's low. She said if the major Fortune like 100 companies are buying 10%, they got 10% of their money put in their Bitcoin, it's going in up 200,000. So that's at least, let's say a $250,000 Bitcoin just by 100 of the top companies just getting 10% of their money. Literally, we can see that and much more with crypto. So it only makes sense. And when I say crypto, specifically, she's talking Bitcoin. But this same thing can transfer over into Ethereum as well. And in fact, it is transferring over into Ethereum. And let me show you all that before we pull up Michael Saylor. So let's talk about Ethereum for a minute. And then we're gonna get into the markets. I'm gonna tell you some news that you need to be aware of. But Ethereum just recently, let me see if I can pull this up. Ethereum just recently have a new, Israel is now using Ethereum to create their new digital shekel. So if you understand, Israel is where the Jews are at. And, if you know anything about Jews and Jewish money and how they perceive wealth, the fact that they're using Ethereum, investing into it as the platform to create their Jewish, not Jewish, but the Israel, I guess, shekel. That really says a lot about Ethereum. One of the most important forms of investing you can probably really be studying right now is the Ethereum ecosystem and taking part in what's going on with Ethereum there. So let me show you this real quick. So here it is. So Bloomberg talks about it. The Bank of Israel, they're testing the Ethereum technology for their digital shekel trial. So this is major news. But Ethereum has so much amazing news that's coming out. Eventually, we're going to see the prices of Ethereum in terms of the fees get lowered. And when that happens, we're going to see that Ethereum price really take over, probably be 10 times the price of Bitcoin. We're talking about years down the line, but this is how you gotta really look at this. We talk about the Bank of Israel is trying out Ethereum's technology in a recent launch for their internal digital shekel. Okay, here are these ads here for their digital shekel that they have. All right, and then in May, the central bank issued a report concluding that the digital payment system could have a positive impact on the economy just by simply processing payments and providing security for both parts in the transaction. The bank also put out a call for smart applications. So let's talk about this for a minute. This is very important because many places across the planet are unbanked. They do not have good banking systems. So literally half of the world, I mean, if there's, let's say 8 billion people on the planet, over 4 billion people really do not have banking access. And then many, at least 1 or 2 billion don't have quality banking. So it is almost inevitable that there will be some form of Ethereum system or XRP system or some type of digital system that's going to be the foundation that these central banks and these countries are building on for whatever currency they're going to attempt to introduce. It's inevitable. People need it for banking. All right. So when you hear these negative news about lack of China banning Bitcoin, like all of this stuff is temporarily. This price dips. These are temporary things. The technology will innovate. And once regulation happens, prices could really soar, especially for coins like XRP. Okay. Which is, I believe, once they get through this trial, we could see that XRP price do a potentially 15x. I would not be surprised if this year or this market cycle to see XRP here at least $10. I don't think it's impossible. In fact, I think it's inevitable just for a small price. Again, this is a coin I think will be eventually over $100 over the next 3 years with what they're doing. So if you don't know about XRP, you better learn about it. But also, if we look at the rest of the markets, it's very important to really look at these quality projects and look at these buying opportunities. Now, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. And understand this is a risky market, and you can lose all of your money. It's very risky. But based on just, if we're just having a conversation, these quality projects, if we look at where they're at, look, we are at $1.3 trillion. The beginning of the year, in January, I think the market was at 1.2 trillion. So all of the profits that were made throughout the year have been lost. So this is a perfect opportunity to really begin to capitalize on what's going on. That's happening right now. All right. So here is another big thing that you should be aware of. So there's some huge changes that are happening in the whole financial system and the regulation with the SEC. So the SEC just recently launched a new rule that is taken into place this month. And what this new rule is being passed is basically, it's going to make hedge funds where they will not, it's going to make hedge funds close down. A lot of hedge funds will be going out of business. They're going to be shutting down. Not all of them, of course, but many of them will. And they have been, primarily because of this new rule. It's basically saying that the hedge funds can only like invest or short a stock or company based on the amount of money they really have. So this is going to really impact like futures contracts and leverage trading. If you're getting confused about what I'm saying, just know this. There was GameStop recently had a huge, the people came together and they had more money as people, everyday average people were able to make the price of GameStop go up when you had the hedge funds were trying to make these prices go down. And so many of these companies are under the control of hedge funds. If you don't know that, now you know. And the new SEC rules are making it difficult for them to do that. That's the point. So be aware that the financial landscape is changing. The people are getting more power with their finances because even if you got less money, it will have more value and power. Okay. So that's my main point to know. With that, we are seeing some huge changes. Also, another news, Coinbase has also been approved to enter the Japan cryptocurrency market. Now, if you don't know about Japan, Japan is major into cryptocurrency. Japan is one of those countries where, they, within the past, let's say 30, 40 years, this is a company is like a dominant company that has a lot of disposable income. And they've been very into crypto. And now Coinbase is there. It's now registered as a crypto exchange operating in Japan. The financial regulation, they've approved this. So, and they approved they're going to have on Coinbase, they're going to have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Stellar, and Litecoin will be available in Japan. Okay, and based on today. All right, they approved this entity as a Japanese subsidiary of the Coinbase Global. All right, so this is major news, guys. Major news. It may not impact you if you don't live in Japan, but understand crypto is definitely growing and it's inevitable. So if you're in the space, you're in a good place, especially if you're in the space right now. Understand that. More news for you to understand is the new Bank of America report just says, so these banks, they understand that they have to get with the crypto program. They got to get down and lay down, period. And many of these banks have been talking negative about crypto because they don't like crypto. And now they're beginning to change their tune because they realize that's the only way they can potentially survive. So Bank of America just made up an article saying that, yeah, digital currencies could boost economic growth in these developing countries. You think? Right? You think, of course they can, and they will. A new Bank of America research studies found that both central banks and digital currencies, which is the CBDCs, they're private digital currencies, they have a huge amount of potential for increasing the inclusion for the developing countries. All right, they're saying that digital currencies could reduce transaction costs, allowing economic activities for emerging economies. Here's the thing. Not only is this very true, but what these banks try to do is they don't want to give credit to Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP. What they want to do is they want to promote blockchain. They try to act as if it's two separate things. Well, blockchain is important, but not Bitcoin. Blockchain is the thing that people could build. And I want for you to not get confused when you hear them talk like this. When they say, yeah, these CBDCs, you got to understand, where do you think the infrastructure that the CBDCs are coming from? They need a platform in which they could build. It's just like saying, hey, if you want to build a Facebook, you want to build a YouTube, you need the internet first. And so need to build their platforms off of. Please understand that it's going to all impact it. Okay. So you're in a great place. Don't get confused. Understand right now it's time for you to do what you need to do. Please understand that. Okay. Now at this time, what I want to do with you real quick, I want you to listen to this multi-billionaire who understands the power of Bitcoin. But here's the thing. I know some of you all are similar to me. You're not just looking at Bitcoin. You're looking at the altcoins because that's when you can get that's how you can become rich. So investing in Bitcoin could help you make a little bit of money. But if you want to get rich and wealthy, that's where the altcoins come in because there's much more opportunity, cheaper prices, right? So even though he's talking about Bitcoin, I want you to understand that Bitcoin is just the level one, and these other altcoins will begin to explode. I'm talking about the quality ones, all right? Coins like XRP, Ethereum, they are going to be beneficiaries based on the Bitcoin's growth, okay? All right, so with that being said, let's pull up that video real quick with Michael Saylor. And in the meantime, I want y'all to like this video, subscribe to the page as we pull up this Michael Saylor here. And also make sure you get that book series as well, the Shut Up and Hustle book series that is the sponsor of our channel. You can support the channel also by contributing below in that Cash App and also signing into those cryptocurrency classes we have available. So without further ado, let's bring up Michael Saylor and hear what he's saying about crypto. This is the guy that just recently put another $1 billion into crypto and Bitcoin specifically.
Cost of capital explode. It's 25% monetary supply expansion. The treasury strategies are now 0, 1, less than 1%. So you've got a negative real yield, minus 25%. That's the cost of capital. Okay, that's actually turning up the heat that's causing everyone to realize that conventional treasury strategies are broken. Now, what are you going to do? Look, if you look at the compound annual growth rate of the S&P over a decade, it's 11.4% for the past decade. If you look at NASDAQ, it's faster, it's 17%. If you look at the compound annual growth rate of Bitcoin for the decade, it's 198%. Okay, so why Bitcoin? Look, either got two choices: decapitalize the company or invest the money into something which is going to keep up with the cost of capital or exceed the cost of capital.
So he's essentially saying with money printing at 20% a year, holding cash on the corporate balance sheet just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Thank you, brother, for wrapping it up. I was going to say the same thing. No, it does not make sense because the value of the dollar is decreasing at a extreme rapid rate. In fact, holding dollars is like holding an ice cube in your hand in the middle of the summertime, and it is evaporating fast, quickly, in a hurry. With that being said, look, guys, this stuff is inevitable. Look, if you're confused, keep watching these videos. Sometimes you have to hear stuff over and over again to absorb the language. You gotta, you may click later for some people, but it's very important that you get active, get involved. Just because the markets are temporarily down, that doesn't mean you should stop paying attention. That's the worst thing you can do, because bear markets, meaning when prices are down and nobody's really interested and people are afraid, that's where the money and the wealth is made. Understand that. You can be on the beaches drinking lemonade and make sure you're taking care of your family and all of that stuff just by a push of a button, just living off your assets. And understand these assets, you can also earn passively income with your DeFi. So this is why you want to understand about the Ethereums of the world, the Curve Finance, the Algorands, the Elron, Egos, the Terra Lunas of the world. Those are all coins that we talk about on this channel and so many more. XRP, we'll do another video about them as well. But you want to get into them, stay in tune, because remember, it's bigger than just about money. All right, this is about freedom. This is about wealth. This is about protection. Large companies are buying up this crypto. You need to understand, whoever owns majority of the Bitcoin and the predominant cryptos, the digital assets, they will have much power and influence. Okay. Even there's something called governance tokens. And when you have a governance tokens, you can vote on how certain tokens even move, certain coins and projects move. Also, you can manipulate prices. If you allow them to continue to do that, not only we will be living in a world where stuff is going to be centralized, meaning you will just be a continuing, ongoing victim. You'll be a person with a little bit of money, but it's limited with what you can do with it because you won't have a lot of power. So if you want power, the power comes with owning and controlling the asset. All right? Controlling the asset. Remember that. You can't control it if you don't own it. So with that being said, look, I'm so excited to continue to work with you, build with you. This video is pretty long, longer than what I would like it to be. But if you're stuck here with me today, I want to tell you I appreciate you. Please contribute to the channel, hit the Cash App link. Also, get the book series, Shut Up and Hustle as well. You see it right there. And share the video, like the video, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.